completed, alter command also completed. So create command is used to create any type of database object. Yesterday we have tried a table. Okay, alter command is used to modify the metadata of that object. So we can use this alter command in three ways. We can use it for adding the additional column for the existing table. Next, we can modify the data type, or we can change the size of the data type. Next, we can delete the existing column from the table, correct? So we learn three different commands for the alter. Alter add, alter drop, correct? So anyone has any questions, or if you stuck with the command, please let me know. So next command in the DDL language is drop. Okay, so right. So if we use a drop, okay, we can delete the object permanently from the database. For example, in a test6 database, we created this table yesterday, student details table, or we will go to some other database. Okay, let's say sales database. See, I'm expanding the tables. So many tables are available. So some tables, okay, we are not using it. Okay, so we wanted to delete. Okay, so we can use the drop command. Okay, not only for the tables, okay, we can use it for the views, we can use it for the stored procedures, we can use it for triggers. So these are the type of database objects, correct? Can anyone tell me please, what are the type of objects, database objects? Tables, views, okay, procedures, functions, triggers, and etc. Right? These are the different type of database objects. Okay. So using the drop command, we can delete the respective object. So what is the syntax for this? Okay, let me write it down here. So drop object type, object name. Okay, so this is the syntax we need to remember. Okay, so now let me just go to the sales database. So for the sales database, I'm opening the query window because I will need to delete a table in that sales database. So I have opened the query window against the sales database. You have to make sure that, okay, this window is pointing to sales database. See here, or you can use and then database name. Okay, right. So execute it. Okay, for safe side, right? So which table we are going to delete? Which table we are going to delete? For example, this is the table someone is created in my system. So I don't want this table here. So what to do? What is the command for the drop? Drop object type. So this object type is table, correct? Table. Object type is a table. Then object name you have to mention. So you have to execute this one. Okay, commands completed successfully. Commands completed successfully. So now table has been dropped from the database. How do we know? You have to refresh it, and then you will have to check the table is still exist or not. So it got dropped, correct? Hello? Next, one more table we will try to delete. So I am removing this table. So in place of table name, okay, you have to give a space. So you have to execute this command. Okay. So anyone has any question on the drop command? So please try to understand the syntax first. Drop object type, object name. Okay. In place of object type, you should know. Okay. So which type of object it is. Okay. And then you have to mention the name of your object. Next, one more object we will try to delete. Let me just go to the view folder here. Okay, I'm expanding. I know we didn't discuss about the views, but we wanted to delete it. Okay, see, there is a view called v underscore sample. Okay, so now you tell me to delete that view. What is the command I supposed to write? Drop
View.
Yes,
Drop
we
view.
have to mention a view. Okay, type of this object is view. So we have to write a view keyword, and then you have to mention the view name. Okay, so I am going to execute it. I got the message called commands completed successfully. You have to refresh your view folder. Okay, this v underscore simple sample should be deleted. It deleted, right?
Yeah. It's
Okay, right.
deleted. Sorry.
Good. Right. So we have completed the drop command. Okay. Next, one more command we are going to learn. Okay. So what is the command?
Truncate.
Right. So truncate. So truncate command. Yesterday I have told you that. Okay. So let me just go to Paint. In the database, we can create a table. In the database, we can create a table. Right. Let me take this. Okay. Right. So this part we call it as, what is this part? Metadata or columns or structure. Okay. Right. Next. This part we call it as data. Okay.
Data.
So inside this database, we have created a table. Also, we have a metadata and we have a data. So for example, we want to delete this part. Okay, what to do? We want to delete only this part. What to do?
We use truncate.
Mhm. You did not do practice, it seems. Okay. So this vertical information is nothing but a column, correct? Yes.
Column name.
We will have to drop the column. To drop the column, we need to use alter drop. We need to use a alter drop. Clear? So syntax is alter table name, drop column name. Suppose we want to delete the entire thing like this, we will have to use a truncate command. Truncate. So only this part we have to delete. Only this part. Okay.
Data part.
Suppose if we want to delete this entire object,
Drop.
what is the drop command? Okay. See, don't get confused. Okay. If you want to delete a column, you have to use a alter drop command. If you want to delete the data inside the table, you have to use a truncate command. If you don't want the object in the database, you have to use just a drop command. Clear or not clear?
Clear.
Yes.
Okay, let me just write it down. Alter drop. Next, just a drop. Next, one more command is truncate. So using this truncate command, we can delete the data. Next, this is metadata. So this one is table, right? So to delete the table, which command we supposed to use out of three? Drop command. Okay. To delete a specific column,
Alter drop.
alter drop. Okay. To delete the data inside the table, truncate. So no confusion, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. So now we will need to see, okay, we have already used alter drop command, also drop command. Now we are going to understand the syntax for the truncate command. Let me give a syntax here. So truncate, okay, only we can use for the table. So truncate command cannot be used for other objects. Truncate command cannot be used. We should not use for other objects. We should use only for the tables. So that is the reason I'm not mentioning object type. Okay, directly I'm writing the keyword table, and then you have to mention a table name. Okay, so truncate table name. So what will happen if I execute this query? Inside the table, data will be deleted. Okay, so let me try. Okay, for one table. So let me go to the sales database here. Okay, we will just check some other table. Okay, so there is a table called partition one. Okay, so I'm going to verify first data is available or not. Okay, select a star from table name. Okay, so why it is giving error? Because this table actually is available in a sales database. You are trying to execute this query against a test 6 database. In test 6 database, this table is not available. That's why we are getting error message, invalid object name. Okay, so what to do? If I want to execute this query, I should change the
Need to change the database.
database name. Okay, so I'm going to change it. Okay, now I will execute again. So click. It got dropped already. I think I did not refresh it and okay. Okay, so it is already deleted, sir. So there is no point of executing this. Let's go with some other table. Okay, so let's see the data inside this table first. Okay, so there is a data. Okay, let it be. Okay, I don't want to drop the table. Okay, so there is no data in this table. Okay. So we have a data in this table, right? Table name is target underscore employee 11. Okay, so how many records are available in this table?
15.
15. In the bottom right corner, you can see how many records are retrieved through this query. So there are 15 records. So suppose if you have a 1 lakh records, it is difficult for us to do the scrolling top to bottom. You can see the number here. So if I execute this query, how many records it is retrieving? Okay, so 15 records it is retrieving. So I want to delete this data. I want to delete this data. So what to do, sir?
We use truncate command.
Truncate
Truncate.
table. So
Table.
table name. So table name we can copy and we can paste here. Okay. So now we will execute. What is the message we will get if the command is executed successfully?
Command successfully
Right.
executed.
So commands completed successfully. It means that data got deleted.
Deleted.
Okay. So let me execute it. So good. Now if I verify the data in the table, how many records will be available?
0.
0 records.
0.
Okay, so it is working, right? Truncate command is working, right?
Yes.
So now try to understand using the truncate command. Using the truncate command, we can delete the data inside the table. Using the drop command, we can delete the object permanently. Next, using alter command,
You can use the specific column.
we
Delete the
can delete
specific
a
column.
specific column. Okay, that's it. So we have completed all the DDL commands, right, sir?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you
Yes,
delete
yes.
a specific row, sir? I mean, like instead of truncating all the data.
Specific row can be deleted, but for that we need to learn DML commands. Okay, na? Okay, we have not started the DML command. Today we will see. Okay, so one language is completed, sir.
Okay.
So there are 5 different languages. I think I have given a list, right?
Yes, yes.
So
Yes,
what are the 5 languages? Can anyone tell me, please? DDL next.
DML,
DML.
DQL,
One member enough. DQL next. DML
DCL,
next.
TCL. TCL.
Okay, right. So these are the 5 languages we will need to learn. Okay, in each language we have a multiple commands. Okay, so in the DDL, okay, we have a 4 commands. Okay, 4 commands are create, alter, drop, truncate. Completed, right? Completed or not completed?
Yeah.
Completed.
I completed from my end. Okay, I don't know whether you have completed or not. Okay, so by tomorrow you have to complete. Okay, right. Next, DQL. So next language is DQL. I will share the material. Don't worry about the notes. Okay. So this is the simple. Okay. DQL stands for data query language. DQL stands for data query language. So why do we use this one? If we have a data, let me talk with someone who just now joined. Someone joined with the name Selpa. When did you join? I got the notification just now. Hello?
Just now we joined.
Did you join yesterday?
No, today only.
At what time, sir, class? So when anyone join in the middle of the class, I used to get a notification. Okay. So did you join yesterday class, sir?
No, sorry, we will inform you next time onwards.
Okay. Did
Tomorrow
you
onwards.
talk with Ravi?
No. We'll just join tomorrow onwards.
Okay. Okay. 1 minute. Let me talk. Okay. So how did you receive the link? So from whom you have received the link? Please tell me the name, sir. Who forwarded the link to you? Okay. So, okay. See, he has left. Okay. So please don't forward the link to anyone. Please don't forward the link. Suppose if that guy tell your name, you will be deleted and the fees will not be refunded. Okay. Also, do not forward the recording sessions. Do not forward the links. Okay. So when anyone join, I used to get a notification immediately. I can catch. Okay. Right. See, Ashwin, can you see now he is left, right?
Yes, left.
Okay. So DQL stands for data query language. So in this, we have only one command. Okay. Select. Select command. Select is used to retrieve the data from the database objects. Select command is used to retrieve the data from the database objects. Suppose, okay, we have a table and we have stored the data. We will need to retrieve the data from the table. Okay, we will need to retrieve the data from the table. Suppose we have a function. So function also will return something. We can use a select command on the function. Okay, so select command will be used only on two objects, not for, okay, next on the view also we can use. So please remember, select command can be used only for the table, view, and function. Select command can be used for the table, for the view, and for the function. Okay, so right, let me write down the syntax. Select from. So after from class, you can mention your table name. Okay, next, or you can mention function name. Okay, or you can mention a view name. Okay, so any of this object you can mention. So depends on this object, you have to write down the column names. Getting or not getting? So data DQL stands for data query language. Okay, data query language. You are querying the data. You are querying the data. It means that, okay, let me just go to the paint. In the database, we can have a n number of tables, n number of views, n number of functions. From that specific object, we will need to retrieve the data. From that specific object, we will need to retrieve the data. So what to do for that? We will have to use a
Select.
command called select. Okay. So in this language, we have only one command. Okay. In remaining languages, we will have more than one command. Let me just write it down to avoid the confusion. So create, alter, drop,
Truncate. Select only. Insert. Update. Delete. Grant. Revoke. Commit. Rollback. Save point. Okay.
Okay. Can you please write down in your notes? Can you just write it down? For the DDL bracket, you mention it data definition language. For the DQL, you mention that data query language. For the DML, you mention data manipulation language. TCL stands for transaction control language. Completed, sir? Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So we are going to learn now select command. Okay, select command is used to retrieve the data from the table or from the function or from the view. Okay, select command cannot be used for the procedure for the trigger. Remember. Okay, so let me mention the table name. Okay, in the from class, any table name you can mention. Okay, let me just put EMP is the table name here. Okay, still, okay, I should be in the sales database. I can send the script, okay, for creating the sales database and have these tables today. Okay, you can execute those scripts so that sales database will be available for you. You can refer it and you can use it for practice also, right? So this is the table I have mentioned after the from class. Okay, before executing this query, okay, I should mention the column names. So I don't know how many columns are available in this table. Okay, someone is created this table. So I can't write a column names because table is not created by me. Okay, so that is the reason I have mentioned a star. If you mention a star after select, okay, you are going to retrieve the data for all the columns from the table. Okay, so before executing this query, again, I will go and check here left side. Okay, expand it, expand the columns. Please count the columns from employee number to department number. How many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 columns. So you are going to retrieve the data for 8 columns. See, employee number to department number, 8 columns. How many rows? 25, correct? 25. Okay, suppose we want to retrieve the data only for the required columns. In that case, you have to write a column names manually. So by expanding this structure here, this side, you can write your column names. I am writing it manually, employee number. So please do not write like a paragraph. You please one by one. Okay, so e name, you don't need to mention the column names in order. Okay, so I am directly mentioning the salary as a third column. So now I am mentioning the job. Okay, you don't need to follow the order. Okay, so now how many columns will come? Four columns. Right. So now you understand how to retrieve the data for all the columns in a table. Also, you understand how to retrieve the data for a specific columns, correct? To retrieve the data for a specific columns, what to do? You have to write a column names in the select part. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone has any questions so far? Okay. Right. If you are not talking means I can consider no questions. Okay. So we have completed 2 comments, correct? 2 languages, right?
Yes,
So DDL we completed. Next DQL we completed. So
Sir.
DML. Okay. Yes, tell me, sir.
Yeah. So We mentioned all column names, right, sir? If I want only some 15 rows.
So we will need to wait for that because we have
Okay.
not yet learned classes. Okay, where class, right?
Okay. Okay.
There is a separate topic, classes. Okay, inside that, group by class. Okay, where class, having class, order by class. So in that topic, you will get to know.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay, so right now we are trying to learn all the records. Okay, his requirement was to get only the top 5 or top 10 or specific rows. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay, right. So now we are going to learn DML command. DML command. If I am going fast, please let me. These commands are very easy. Okay, so wherever we feel difficult or complex or okay, typical. Okay, I will go slowly. Now DML. So DML stands for
Data manipulation.
data manipulation language. Data manipulation language. So using this DML, you are going to insert the data, or you are going to modify the data, or you are going to delete the data. So DML command will be having how many commands?
3.
3. I have already written here. So insert. Using insert command, what we can do?
Insert the data.
We can insert the data or store the data. Okay. Next, update command.
We can update
the data.
Right. We can update or modify the data. Next,
Delete the particular
delete the
delete the data. Right. So already we know how to delete the data from the table. What is the command we learned today?
Drop.
Truncate.
Truncate. Okay. In interview, they will ask what are the differences between truncate and delete. So first we will learn this one also, and then we will see what are the differences between delete and truncate. Clear? So let's go one by one. Okay. First command, insert. Okay. So insert command is used to store the data or insert the data. Okay. This is the just a definition for insert command. Okay. How can we insert the data? Okay. First table should be available in your database. Then you can insert the data. Okay. Next, can I insert a one row or multiple rows? Next, one more question. Can I insert a data for the specific columns or all the columns? So for all your questions, okay.
Sir, your voice is not clear. Is it only for me for everyone?
No,
it's clear.
My voice baga.
My voice is clear or not clear?
Clear, sir. Clear, sir.
Clear.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
Clear,
fine. Okay, then it's fine. I think there was some network issue, Ashwin. Just check it from your end. Okay, right. So we created a table yesterday. We created a table yesterday in a test 6 database. Let me go there. So this is the table, correct? We created yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so before learning the insert command, first we will analyze what is the data type that we have mentioned for each column while creating the table. Okay, sir. Why we have to check the data type? Because you are going to insert the data for your columns. So we need to follow some standards. Okay, for some columns you have to mention value within single quote. For some column you don't need to mention a value within single quote. That is the reason we need to verify the data type of each column. Okay, so remember, if the data type of any column related to the number, okay, number means integer, big int, float, decimal, and etc. You don't need to mention a value within single quote. Clear, sir? Okay, see, for example, the data type of marks column is int. Okay, so directly you can write 50 like this. Okay, suppose email ID column, the data type is what is the data type for? Okay, so in that case you have to write a email ID, but you need to mention value within single quote. Let's say some email ID @tcs.com. Clear? So if the data type is a related to the character, so what are the possible data types? Varchar, n varchar, char, Okay, date, time. So these data types, you should mention value within single quote. Okay, na sir?
Yeah, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Only
So
for numbers. Only for numbers, not no need to mention, sir.
for the numbers, we don't need to mention. For a decimal, we don't need to mention. Okay, na? Okay. So let's understand while inserting the data. Okay. So right now, what is the syntax first? So we can use this insert command in 4 options or 4 methods. Okay. Insert command can be used to insert a data for all the columns. Insert command can be used to insert a data for specific columns. Insert command can be used to insert the data from the other table to current table. Okay, sir. Insert command can be used to insert for multiple rows. Okay, na sir. So let me write down the first syntax along with the description. Syntax 1. Insert the data for all columns. For all columns in a table. Okay. So we are going to write a syntax for this. It is very simple. Insert. Okay. I will remove this. Okay. Insert into. Okay. Don't copy. Okay. Please observe the syntax. Okay. Insert into table name. Okay.
Values.
So we are going to mention the data for all the columns. So in that case, directly we can use a keyword called values. Okay. Next, in your table, I did not mention any table name particularly. Okay. So I am assuming that this table is having n number of columns. So for all the n number of columns, you must mention the values. Okay. Right. So I am going to mention V1, V2, V3, and so on, comma, Vn. This is the general syntax for inserting the data for all the columns in the table. So now let's do some example. Okay. So before that, okay, we will check the data inside this table. How to check the data inside this table?
Select star.
Select
Star from the table.
from
Correct.
select
Select
star
star
from
from
table.
right. So select is a DML command. Already we know that. Okay. So this table is located in the test6 database. So we will change it. Okay, we don't have the data. Okay, table is empty. So now we are going to insert one row.
Right.
Okay, so insert into is a common. Okay, now table name. So this is our table name. Okay, so after that we have to mention a keyword called values. Okay, so please see the column and the data type. First column is a student ID. So 101. So I am not mentioning single code for this. Why? Because the data type of student ID was integer, a big int. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Next, second column data type is a varchar. So we have to mention within single code, you need to mention some name. Okay. Uh, let's say Ram. Okay. Next column is marks. Let's say 30. Next column. Okay. Gender, data type of gender is varchar. So I am mentioning MALE. Okay. Next, email ID. So within single quote, we have to mention if the data type is varchar or nvarchar. Okay. ram@gmail.com. Next, what is the next column? Address. Okay. So I am going to mention value within single quote because it's a varchar data type. Okay. You can mention Bangalore. Okay. Next, contact number. You can mention some number. Okay. Okay. Next, date of birth. So data type for this column is date. Correct. So in SQL Server, okay, to insert the date related data type, you need to follow this standards. Okay. First YYY. Okay. Hyphen. Okay. Hyphen. DD.
Date.
Okay, this is the format you have to follow, and this should be enclosed with a single code. Okay, string or dates. Okay, sorry, nvarchar, varchar, date time. Okay, everything should be single code. Okay, right. So now we are going to mention the some date of birth 2001 0101. Okay, so January 1st 2002. Okay, next similarly we will mention the date of joining for the course. Okay, let's say 2023 0 to 10. Sorry. Okay, right. So anything. Next course, let's say Power BI or SQL something.
SQL.
Next course fees, let's say 6,000. Okay, so I am going to select this command and I am going to execute it. So when you execute a DDL command, what was the message we were getting? Commands completed successfully. So today we are executing insert command. So insert, you are inserting the data. So with the help of this insert command, how many rows will be inserted?
Row.
Drop.
One row.
Only one row.
One row.
One row. Okay, we
One
get
row.
a message, one row affected. See. Okay, so now we are interested to see that information in the table. So already I have prepared a select command. We are executing it. This is the data I have inserted, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so like this you can insert multiple rows, right, sir? So now we are going to learn, okay, one more command in the syntax itself, in the insert only. Okay, insert the data for specific columns. Specific columns. Okay, so in the first one, what we did, sir?
Insert the data for all.
For all the columns. Now, second syntax for the insert. Okay, I am copying this one. Okay, so for the specific column, you need to insert the data. Okay, so you have to mention the column names after your table. Okay, so for which columns we want to insert the data. So you don't need to mention the columns in order. You can mention, okay, anything. Okay, column 2, for example, column 1, column 3, okay, column 4. Okay, only for the 4 columns we want to insert the data. Okay, for the remaining columns I am not interested. So when you are inserting the data for the specific column, so other columns, okay, will be having the null. Okay, try to understand. For example, I have mentioned here student ID, student name. Okay, next course fees, student ID, student name, what is the course he is learning, what is the course fees. Only for those 4 columns I am inserting. So what about marks, gender, email ID, date of birth, date of joining? Null value will be inserted. By the default, null value will be inserted. Okay, so let me remove this because I have mentioned 4 columns, right? Okay, so we have written a syntax. Now we will try one example. So this part is common, right? This part is common. Insert into table name. Okay, we will have to mention a column names. Student ID. Next student name. Next
Address.
course.
Course name.
We can mention one more column also if you want. Okay.
Address.
Contact number. Okay, so 5 columns we are going to insert the data. Okay, so we will not have a space. We'll do one thing here. I will mention values so that it will be good. For the student ID 102. Next student name Naresh. Okay, next course. So here course name is Power BI. Next course fees is, okay, 15,000. Okay, next contact number, something. Okay, so column name is wrong, it seems. Okay, underscore I missed. Okay, if I execute this one, what is the message we will get?
Insert.
One row affected. Okay. Okay, so one row affected. We have inserted the data only for 5 columns, correct? So we will check that record also here. Please see, for the student ID, student name, okay, next contact number, course fees, course name we inserted, but remaining columns we did not insert. So by the default, which value was inserted?
Null.
Null.
So null value. Okay, so what is null in the database? Null is a undefined or unknown value. Okay, we can't say that it is a blank, or we can't say that it is a 0, or we can't say that it is a 1. It is a unknown value. Okay, or undefined value. So clear or not clear? So
Yes,
anyone
yes.
has any questions on this insert syntax? Okay, I am pasting in the chat box. You can copy from there. Can you please open the chat box from your end? Copy it. You are able to open chat box.
Yes.
I have pasted this information in the chat box. Okay, for your practice, it will help. Did you copy? Please open the chat box. Okay, I have pasted that syntax along with the example. So you please copy into Notepad so that it will be easy, okay, for your practice. Okay, so remaining comments we will learn tomorrow. Okay. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.